Hey, it's Craig again. Totally a different day. Totally just happened to wear the same t-shirt. It's not 45 seconds after the last video. You guys are getting the gist of the fact I'm recording these all at once? Okay, good. We're going to talk about remapping a button. So when VoiceLive 2 came out, when it was out for, it's been 5 years now, along the way, one of the things people asked was, why did you put X button in Y position? It would be really more convenient for me if you were to put that button in another place. One of the main ones that came up was that harmony was right in the middle. We sort of felt that was going to be the most used button, and we put it halfway between where a right-footed person would use it and a left-footed person. And what it turned out was people said they would really prefer it in the lower right-hand corner where we've placed it on VoiceLive 3. But of course we knew that that's not going to apply to everybody, and somebody's going to say, I never use harmony, I want to use blah, and I want to put it there instead. How do you do that? Well, we've actually made it so you can remap any button to any location, which is really, really cool. So between the guitar and the vocal layers, you can put anything anywhere. I'll quickly show you how to do a couple of remaps here, try and keep my time short on this one. But let's take the reverb, for example. I think that's going to be a candidate that a lot of people are going to use to remap, because often in a song you're going to have the same reverb all the way through and it's going to be on. You know, unless you're using it as a very temporary, like giant huge reverb or something, it's just going to be the sound that puts you in a nice physical space. So because it's going to be on the whole time, who cares about having a button to control it? You don't need that. You might want a button to control something else like hard tune or synth. Let's do it with synth here. We're going to go into vocal, press vocal there, that gets us to our vocal edit screens, and we're going to tab all the way over here until we get to button map. Boom! I'm going to scroll down till I find reverb, which basically just represents the reverb button, the reverb foot switch here. And you'll notice that actually each one, when you first fire up this box, it looks like they're doubled. It says micromod, micromod, delay, delay, reverb, reverb. The top one is the title, the actual button that it is, and the bottom version is the target. So in this case, if the reverb switch is controlling the reverb effect, you'll see reverb twice. But we'll quickly see here. I can change this, and I'll go through and I will find synth. So I use this little knob. Now it says reverb synth, which means the reverb button is now the synth. So if I back out and I go home here, you'll notice on this main screen, instead of it going micromod, delay, reverb, it goes micromod, delay, synth. And now I have access to synth via foot switch whenever I want. I'm going to expand just very quickly onto guitar to show you something about how to pull from one layer to another. So I'm going to go back into my vocal button map, and I'm going to find, in that place of that synth that we just had it, I'm going to go find one of these ones that has a G in front of it. So G delay, guitar delay, that's what it means. I'm going to pull that across, and I'm going to make that my, my target for this button. So my vocal reverb button on the vocal layer is now guitar delay. And you can see actually that there's a little guitar here, and as I turn it on and off, you see guitar delay is going on and off. You'll see that the button is red, but there's one small distinction. This red button is now dim when it's off, and that's because you're on the vocal layer, and we wanted to make it kind of clear that that's a guitar effect. If you press that button, something's going to happen on guitar. You know, you can't just look down right away and go, oh, well, what happens if I press the delay button? You can obviously assume when you're on the vocal layer that it's a vocal delay. It's turned off, you turn it on, it lights up blue, it's a vocal delay, great. But if you had no indication of whether or not something was from another layer, it would get a little bit tricky. So we've tried to give you a little bit of a sign. Hey, when you push this button, even though you're on the place where you control your vocal effects, you're pulling a guitar effect up. So that's just a little kind of neat tidbit. You'll run into that, you'll see it, and you might wonder why, oh, did my LED break? It's like kind of dim when it's off, you know, what's going on? That's the reason. So a little bit of method behind our madness there. We'll move on to some other videos coming up soon. Talk to you soon.